Hey everyone, NAV-TV here with you, and today we're sitting in a 2016 Mercedes GLA 250. This customer came to us, they wanted a reverse camera install. Stay tuned and we're going to take this car apart and show you the installation. So before we get started, I wanted to show you the qualifier for Mercedes, late model Mercedes, starting with like about 2012 and then going up. Look at the radio here where the CD is. You're looking for the clear button and the eject button for the CD. If they're right next to each other, then you're going to need our W205 kit. If they're separated, here and one here, then you're going to need our W204 kit. So this kit, they're together, so we're going to need a W205 kit for this install. Okay, so here's the kit right here, 205N RVC KIT703. We got power connectors, in and out can, a video in and out here, and then dip switches. It's really just a simple reverse and front camera interface, which I can show you. We're just putting a reverse camera in this car, but I'll go ahead and show you how easily it is to add a front camera with this kit as well. If the car already had a reverse camera, you can easily add a front camera to this with this kit as well. It'll retain the factory rear and you can add a front very simply. Alright, so we're ready to begin. The whole installation for 205 happens behind the radio. Some of the main harnesses have a plug-and-play option for power, which you would go up to the screen, but depending upon availability, it might not be there. So this one doesn't. We're going to have to hardwire it. No big deal. For most 205 style dashboards, you're going to see circular vents like this. After you get the Mercedes tool, this is a little scary if you've never done it before. You got to put a lot of pressure on these vents and they'll pop right out. So you go right up in this slot and, you know, make sure you're hooked on good. We're not really going to pull out, we're going to more pull up and out. And I use a steering wheel here as some leverage. See, I missed. Let's try again. Still no. There it goes. Just like that. So now, and inside there's a Torx 20 that I'm going to have to use a extension to get at. It's going to release the radio to come out. We don't need to remove the center one at all. It's just this one and this one. That's it. And there it goes. To get this radio out, this silver trim stays put, and we're just going to take the black section of the radio out. So insert this right in here. So as you're putting it in, turn until you can get something, and then just kind of, it should just, as long as you get the screws out, it should just basically fall out. Now I can proceed forwards with the installation here. Well, what I'm going to do here now is put some protective layer down on the dashboard so I don't scratch anything. So before you pull this radio out, there's a plug on the passenger side that needs to be disconnected, otherwise you won't be able to pull it out fully. If you can see that, it's a 4-pin, there's 3 wires in it. That needs to be disconnected. Then you can continue and pull the radio all the way out. So the wires that we're going to be tapping here, really we have there's a plug-and-play T-harness that we insert into this black connector, which is inside the bigger black connector. And then also we're intercepting this blue, which is the display LVDS cable. Okay, so again, so we disconnect the main power here, and the connector we're going to be intercepting here, we have a T-harness for this, and it's this black one. These all pull out, well, at least this black and this white one pull out. And this black one right here has a shell, and this can come off, and it's going to be intercepted with R's instead. And then the other side, it plugs in. So also, this blue LVDS right here is the one that we want. So that's the guy right there that we want. So you're going to have to strip this back so that we can mount the module somewhere so it's not in the way, because this short, it being this short, is going to be a problem. Alright guys, so I've taped up this harness to make it nice and well, easier to deal with, and also you know, protective against rattles and such. Don't forget about this CAN 2 harness. That's also going into from the T harness. There's 2 sets of cans in here. One comes out and goes to the main harness, and the other set comes out and goes to this CAN 2. Can't forget that. That's going to go into can 2 when it's labeled. That's going to go there. But what we're going to do right now is constant power and ground are going to go at this main power plug, and then again this T-harness here is going to go, it's going to take the place of the factory one in this shell. So that's with a pick or your fingernail, you can get that, slide that right off. And what you want to do is look at it, and you want to make sure that it's matched. This is keyed, it's only supposed to go in one direction. There's an arrow on both. Look for the arrow on both. Keep it exactly the same way. If you put this in backwards, it's not going to do any damage, but you're going to lose your screen image completely. So that's a good indication of how to put it in right. Okay, same thing. You want this to go straight through. You can tape this up if you want to. I don't think it's personally necessary. And then that's it for the can T-harness. Really simple. Typical European colors for power and ground. Brown is ground. Red with some other color on it, thicker. Test them anyways. Is going to be your constant. And we can solder these right onto here. That's what we're going to do here. So I'll do that in a minute. Here's the provided LVDS cable. It should be an A-type. Look for A-type. You know, make sure it matches with the manual. There's a B-type for other cars. It's not going to work. So this just plugs right into where I removed the blue already, which is the screen. This goes right into where the blue used to be. Okay. So that's that. Nice and easy. And I'm going to go ahead and cut some of this back so that we can mount the unit down somewhere deep and out of the way. Okay, so we've made all our connections. I reconnected, try to reconnect everything before you test anything. Sometimes CAN passes through a connector on a dashboard piece, not in this car necessarily, but definitely on like a CLA and some other cars. The kit might not even function properly unless you have all the panels connected. So that's a pretty important note. Here's the factory connector right here. I'm gonna plug that in first. Then video in from the radio. It's gonna go here. And then power. Actually, I'm going to do CAN first, and then power. You hear this thing wake up with some clicks when you plug it in. Good. So let's go ahead and let's start the car. Find the key here. Before I start the car, make sure you have a screen. It's a good indication that our CAN T-harness is not backwards, it's straight, and I'm in the right, or it's potentially in the right LVDS connector here. Start the car. Now you want to set up the dip switches for this car and the screen size, all inside the manual. Notice there's a small delay. Make sure you wait. So it's looking for its camera image. This looks pretty good. You got a full screen. Lines are not distorted or anything. Everything looks good. We can remove this PDC overlay if the car is not factory equipped with sensors, parking sensors. Pretty simply. This seems to be good. So all I got to do now is run my camera to this location, and I've already, we can use the brown wire, which is on this kit 205. The brown wire will give you 12 volt out when only in reverse, and we can use this camera RCA right here for reverse. If you're adding a front, you would plug it into the front. That one would need to be on accessory though. You wouldn't be able to power that from here. We can fit a Cam 6 right up in here. We don't have a factory specific handle for this. So we're going to fit our Camera 6 Kit 299 in there, which will look real nice. Very high res, high quality camera. No cheap stuff. Alright, so the installation is about finished. We just have to wrap everything up. I've ran our camera all the way forwards from the rear, our Cam 6, connected it to camera. I've also connected a test camera for on the front RCA. So we'll go ahead and test the functionality here. I'll pop this car in reverse and you will see in this image with lines that turn with the steering wheel. It's kind of washed out because the garage bay is open, but you get the idea. So what I want to show you is how to turn on a front camera without the timer. This kit also has the timer feature for 5, 7, 11 seconds, 9 seconds. If you want to put the front camera on a timer so that it shows the front camera after you leave reverse, that is an option. You don't have to use that as an option. Not everyone likes that. You could also do just have it set on to where you use the clear button over here on the steering wheel. You hold that for a few seconds and it will fire on the front camera in any other gear but reverse. So drive, park, no matter where you're at. You can use it for an AV input, or sorry, a video input, or a front camera, whichever. But you have to activate it first in the menu system. So to do that, you got to put the car in reverse. Make sure that we're in aftermarket mode. So while in reverse, you want to grab the remote, plug the remote eye in. Using the remote, you press 4 times, 1, 2, 3, 4, it'll count, then press power. And now you have our menu to adjust all the options. These reverse camera only kits only have a reverse menu. There's no auxiliary menu. So once you pop it on, go down to, now front camera, that's for the timer. Your only options are 20, 11, 9, 7, and 5 seconds. But we don't want that. So we want the AV option. So let's go back into it again. Let's go to AV, there it is there. Let's turn that to on, and then, okay, and then back out of it with power. So now when we put this car in park, now when I press and hold the back button on the left side of the steering wheel here, it throws on our front camera. And again, this is just a test camera I have plugged into the car so you can see. All we're adding to this car today is a reverse camera. But you can see how simple it is to add. Hold it again, and it's gone. Back to factory. One more time. Now, if you leave that on, you put the car in reverse, reverse will take priority. If you go back into drive, you're back onto your front camera. Very handy if you do a lot of parallel parking and stuff like that. You can just go back and forth between reverse and drive, and it'll show you each camera while you're backing up or going forwards. Pretty awesome. Hold this again to get out. Very simple, so simple. Alright guys, so I have this strange angle going here with my camera because I wanted to show you some of the menu features. Again, put it in reverse. I've disconnected my signal image so that it's easier to see the menu options here. So again, remote with the IRI, 1, 2, 3, 4, power. You got FPG on off. Okay, then PDC on off, which is the overlay over here. I'll turn that on so I can show you. And you can see it there, up here over there. But since this car doesn't have sensors, I'm going to want to turn that off. Otherwise the customer will be asking what that is. FPG are these lines right here. But you want to keep those on. That's half the purpose of this kit. Unless your camera has no option of turning the lines off, I guess in that case you'll either have 2 sets of lines, or it's just best to have that on, the turn lines anyway. PDC position, that adjusts the position of that overlay over there. FPG position, that adjusts the physical position of these lines. Warning is look safe to move. You can turn that on and off if you want, whatever. Let's turn it back on. Okay, we have front cameras for timer. AVC type is nothing, neither is the time, ignore that stuff. AV is your front input. The front camera is for the timed front camera. The AV is actually for whether you want to use the button on the steering wheel to force that video input or not. I'm not adding a front camera to this car, so we're going to leave that off. Rear mode is for whether you have factory reverse camera or not. Okay, so what happens when you put rear mode on to off, and now when I put it in reverse, and I'm in reverse right now, I get nothing on the screen. This stores all the adjusted setting information into flash memory on our piece. What we have to do is put it in reverse anyway. So I was in park and now I'm in reverse. What we're going to do is we're going to press mode repeatedly to get the aftermarket screen to appear again. And there it goes. And now I can do the standard 1, 2, 3, 4 and power, and then our menu will appear. And we can go back into rear mode, turn it back to on, bump out, go to park, and test again, and we should be good after at that point. So there you go. So the installation is complete. Throw in reverse and show you how it looks like. Nice guidelines that turn with the wheel. You put it in drive. All set. Give us a call on NAV-TV. Thanks for watching.